Tonight on SLU News 22.
Parks College gets some great news from NASA.
2 suspects in the recent rash of car break-ins arrested and released.
The SGA election season is underway.
Egypt's government is toppled in a revolution, and your local weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist David Keller. Live from the Bush Student Center studios, it's February 14th and it's time for SLU News 22. Good evening, I'm Avita Caldwell.
And I'm Mark Zinn.
Thanks for joining us here at SLU News 22. Our top story for tonight is some exciting news for Parks College. NASA has selected 20 small satellites to fly as auxiliary cargo aboard rockets planned to launch in 2011 and 2012. St. Louis University's Parks College made it onto the short list with their Copper Cube, which will be launched into space later this year. CubeSats are a class of research spacecrafts called nanosatellites. The CubeSpace satellites are approximately 4 inches long, have a volume of about 1/4 and weigh 2.2 pounds or less. Copper Cube, which has now been renamed Copper, is a test for their new infrared camera and the subsystem controlling it. If proven successful, their new system could be integrated into future weather and climate science satellites at much lower cost than the current space-rated infrared imagery systems. Parks College also has a strong history in the space program. Parks graduates have worked on every NASA mission as represented by the wall of patches on the first floor hallway. For those with a fascination with space and astronomy but don't necessarily want to commit to building a satellite, SLU has a chapter of Students for the Exploration and Development of Space. Meetings are tentatively scheduled, alternating Thursdays in Ritter Hall 200 at 6 p.m. February 17th is our second meeting of the semester.
Graduate students studying nutrition will be offering nutrition counseling one-on-one with interested students throughout the semester. During the initial session, the graduate students will perform a brief nutrition assessment, determine energy needs, and assist the volunteers in developing behavior change goals for healthy eating. Follow-up sessions will last 30 to 45 minutes. If you're interested in volunteering to receive nutrition counseling, call Amy Moore at 314-977-8671 or email her at artemear@slu.edu.
2 suspects in the recent rash of car break-ins on SLU's campus parking lots were released after the Circuit Attorney's Office refused warrants for the suspects' arrest, according to St. Louis Police. The car break-ins occurred during the university's 2 snow days on February 1st and 2nd. Cars parked on the Teresa, West Pine, and South Grand lots were affected. Among the stolen items were GPS units, 1 watch, and 2 pair of glasses.
Something that wasn't stolen was David's dignity with that weather storm that we saw. David, what's our weather looking like for the next couple of days?
Well, everyone still seems to be talking about that storm a couple weeks ago, but that's far in our memories now. So we've had some very warm temperatures out there that has helped to melt off all that sleet and snow that we've seen on the ground for the past couple of weeks. As we sit out there right now, temperatures are in the middle 40s. And apparently my clicker doesn't want to work for me this evening, so we'll just talk about it. Temperatures are in the middle 40s out there, and that is actually above our average high. So I don't know what's going on, but we do have nice temperatures out there. We'll continue to have nice temperatures this evening, and we have some more warmer weather in the forecast, as well as a few rain chances, and we'll look at that forecast coming up in a little bit. Apparently my computer has decided to freeze on me, so we'll get back to that in just a little bit, Mark.
Looking forward to that, David. Dr. W. Michael Panton and his team at SLU School of Medicine have found evidence that a toxin produced by the brain is responsible for a series of events that led to Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease, a debilitating
That's weird.
A debilitating neurodegenerative movement disorder is found in 2% of citizens over age 65 and 4 to 5 that are over 85 years old. This brain toxin called DOPAL, causes dopamine neurons in the brain to die. When 80% of these cells die or become damaged, an individual begins to display symptoms of the illness. This information opens up potential new research to prevent dopamine neuron loss and prevent the progression of the illness.
On Wednesday, February 16th, representatives from the St. Louis Zoo will be on campus to inform students about employment opportunities at the zoo. They can be found from 4 to 5 in room 253 B and C of the Bush Student Center. And there will be animals.
Also on Wednesday at 6 p.m., the Student Government Association will be hosting the 2011 SGA debate in the St. Louis room in BSC. Election Commissioner Chris McGeehan encourages students to come check out the candidates and where they stand on the issues that impact you. For more information, you can email him at cmcgeeha@slu.edu.
Those running for the SGA leadership positions have announced their candidacy. Tim Jankeski will be running for the president on the Ignite ticket, Jimmy Miners on the Evolve ticket, and Matt Ryan on the Building Bridges ticket.
The women's basketball team is joining forces with the St. Louis University Cancer Center to host Pink Fest, a family-friendly pregame happy hour in support of cancer awareness and prevention. The event will take place from 6 to 7 p.m. on Wednesday, February 16th at Lorenzini's in Chaifetz Arena. Tickets are $5 and attendees will receive a free backpack, keychain, and a ticket to watch the team play Xavier at 7 p.m. Half of the ticket sales will benefit SLU Cancer Information Center program.
This past Wednesday, the Great Issues Committee brought to you Dr. Michael Cox from the London School of Economics. He gave a speech entitled President Obama and the Fall of the American Empire. Dr. Cox first questioned if there is a decline in the American power, and is that leading to a power shift from the West to emerging markets in the East, such as India and China. Cox stated that China's economy growing at the rate is the United States is most likely going to see conflict. Second, Cox questioned if the West, and the U.S. in particular, is really in decline. He concluded that while in decline, it will take the United States isn't going to completely fall apart anytime soon. He also believes that China has to be careful. It will lose support if other countries get scared. While countries have started to turn to China for help, it is still the United States they run to for real problems.
After the break, we'll take a look at national and international news. We'll be right back.
He doesn't watch How to Catch a Predator because he already knows how to. He doesn't make wishes. He makes wishes.
And welcome back. Topping international news is the revolution in Egypt. Cheers were heard across Egypt and the world this Friday when Vice President Omar Suleiman announced that President Hosni Mubarak would step down from the presidency. He has held that position for the past 30 years. Citizens ran through the streets shouting, "Egypt is free! The people have brought down the regime." Celebrations lasted well into the night in Cairo's Tahrir Square, also known as Liberation Square. People shot at fireworks and waved other fireworks around in the air of the celebration.
In the absence of Mubarak, the military will control the state until new presidential and parliamentary elections can be held. The ruling National Democratic Party has been dissolved and many government officials have resigned. Parliament has also been dissolved and the Constitution has been suspended. Military leaders are forming a committee to amend the Constitution and set rules for a popular referendum to approve the amendments. The caretaker cabinet, which was created by Mubarak shortly after the protests began on January 25th, will remain in power until a new cabinet can be formed, an event that is not expected until after elections. Elections have been scheduled for September, but many are cautioning that it will be too soon. Mohammed el-Baradi, a Nobel Peace Prize laureate and leading opposition figure, says that Egypt needs at least a year of building the country from scratch. Others argue that September elections will provide legitimacy to Egypt's rebuild.
As the news was quickly spread by many international news organizations that Mubarak was gone, spontaneous celebrations began to break out all over the world, from St. Louis to Washington, D.C. to Madrid, Spain, where one of our reporters, Jennifer McDermott, is currently studying. She captured some video of the celebrations in the streets of Madrid, as you're taking a look at now, and also talked with one of her classmates, Dina Hosni, whose family lives in the center of Cairo. Hosni reports through her family that the atmosphere was like after winning a soccer match. People were honking with their flags out. She said the people are excited about the She said that people are excited about the changes, but still cautious about the road ahead, and quote, "As an Egyptian citizen, I would like to see the people being heard. I'm fortunate enough to live well and to get a good education, but this revolution was about having everyone's voices heard, and it was one united message that we all wanted, rich or poor, Muslim or Christian." You can read the full interview with Hosni on our website, SLU-TV.slu.edu.
Yemen has now caught the revolutionary fever. Demonstrators took to the streets on Friday demanding the resignation of President Ali Abdullah Saleh and political reforms. Saleh has been in power for 30 years. He has promised not to run again when his term ends in 2013. The Yemeni police have been clashing with the protesters. Despite government bans on protests and the large number of riot police, thousands of Algerians rallied in the capital on Saturday. They are demanding democratic reforms and the resignation of President Abdelaziz Bouteflika, who has been in power since 1999. More than 400 people have been arrested. Tensions in Algeria have been high since high food prices sparked 5 days of riots in January.
And in other news, happy news, and entertainment news for that matter, the majority of us have the same image of Valentine's Day. It's today, in case you are not aware, but are you aware of the day's dark origins? Admittedly, the origins are a bit unclear, but in ancient Rome from February 13th to February 15th, the Romans celebrated the feast of Lupercalia. The men would sacrifice both a goat and a dog, then whip women with their hides. The idea was that this would make the woman more fertile. The feast also included a matchmaking lottery, so to say, in which men would draw the name of a woman who would remain their date for at least the duration of the ceremony.
A bit later, Emperor Claudius II executed 2 men named Valentine on 2 different February 14th of the 3rd century AD. Their martyrdom was honored by the Catholic Church through the celebration of St. Valentine's Day. In the 5th century, Pope Gelasius combined the feast of St. Valentine with Lupercalia to Christianize the pagan rituals. Valentine's Day did not begin to take on its present meaning until the Middle Ages, when authors like Shakespeare began to romanticize it.
And thank God he did that. Still to come tonight, we'll also have a look at the weather. David, what's coming up in your forecast?
Well, we are certainly looking at some warmer temperatures as this winter thaw continues. We could be seeing some 70-degree temperatures as we come up through the next couple of days as the winter thaw continues. There is a few slight rain chances, and winter is not over. We will be seeing some cooler weather. We'll talk about that and our extended forecast coming up after the break.
And welcome back. Chief Meteorologist David Keller is with us now. David, I noticed it was a bit cooler today than yesterday.
Yeah, it certainly was a little bit cooler today. We saw highs in the middle 50s instead of the middle 60s. But we'll continue to see warmer weather as we go through the next couple of days. It's still very mild out there right now. In fact, we are sitting at 44 degrees here at SLU, and that is right around our normal high for this time of year, so definitely still very mild. Temperatures will continue to stay mild through the overnight hours. As you can see around the area, we are still mostly in the middle 40s. Down to our south, it's just a little bit warmer. They are still sitting in the mid-50s. Temperatures will be falling overnight tonight, as we will see a little bit of clearing as the storm system down to our southwest tries to feed some clouds into the area, but they really won't be making it into our region as we head through the overnight hours. That is because high pressure is in control of our region. We are going to be watching this warm front over the next couple of days as it tries to bring some of that warmer air back into the region. Now, we're not really cooling off as temperatures will stay in the 50s, but we will be watching that as it brings some even warmer air into the region. But as it does so, there is a chance for some light rain showers, especially Wednesday into Thursday, as that warm air tries to push in. That warm front lifts off to our north and west. The rain chances linger into Thursday, but you will see noticeably warmer temperatures as we head through your day Tuesday. So your overnight forecast temperatures will be falling not to 16, down to about 36 with partly cloudy skies. And, well, we're not looking at temperatures around 16 for quite a while now. As I mentioned earlier, we did see a high temperature right around 51 degrees here at SLU. It's 50 out at Lambert. That is well above the normal high of 44 degrees and will continue to stay above that normal for the next several days. When you wake up in the morning, 34 degrees, so a little chilly. but not bad compared to the temperatures we've had over the past several weeks. But you may still want your jacket. Warming up nicely by noon, up to 50 degrees, sunny and mild, and warming up to a high around 56 degrees by tomorrow afternoon, and cooling off only a little bit down to 50 by tomorrow evening. Now here's your 7-day forecast. Temperatures continue on the upswing through Wednesday with a high temperature of 34. There's that slight rain chance Wednesday into Thursday as the even warmer air pushes in here for Thursday with a high temperature around 67. Now, depending on the amount of sunshine we see on Thursday, temperatures could go as high as 70 degrees. Before another weak system comes in here Friday, bringing our temperatures back down to 60. 48 on Saturday, so a little bit back to reality for Saturday and Sunday. And then look at that on Monday. No, you're not seeing things. That is a thunderstorm icon. We could be looking at showers and thunderstorms by the time we get to next week, as this warm weather means a more energized weather pattern, which means more precipitation and possibility of thunderstorms.
Maybe even an activation of the Storm Alert Weather Team.
Quite possibly, yes, as we go through next week.
We'll be right back with more. Don't go away. Welcome back. Well, here's some strange news for you tonight. One of the most mysterious books in the world has given up one of its secrets, its age. Researchers at the University of Arizona have finally dated the book to the early 15th century. The mystery book, called the Voynich manuscript, is written in a language that no one can read and hasn't been found anywhere else. It is also full of drawings of objects resembling plants, ancient lab equipment, and cosmological signs. There are even illustrations of women in baths. Now, the plants are clearly identifiable, and many seem to be odd compilations of different root and leaf systems.
I won't say anything else. I was going to say something about Valentine's Day, but I just lost that one. David!
All right. That's I don't know about that. Anyway, hopefully you are enjoying your Valentine's Day. Temperatures are mild out there. We're still in the mid-40s, which is very warm for this time of year. If we look at our satellite and radar, you can see there's not a whole lot going on around the St. Louis region. A few clouds trying to work into the area from the west. We don't really have to worry about those until we get to Wednesday or Thursday. So looking at our 7-day forecast, you can see temperatures remain mild through Thursday, possibly as close to 70 degrees by Thursday afternoon, before a little reality check for the weekend, and then some possible thunderstorms for next Monday. So certainly a nice week of weather.
Very
and
nice.
some very nice weather today for Valentine's Day.
Nice.
And
All the
David and I
lucky
have our
lovers.
red ties on for
Hey,
Valentine's Day.
oh, shucks, I got pink
That's
and
close
white.
enough. That works.
That's fine. It's all cool.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget, you can follow us online at SLU-TV.slu.edu or follow us on Twitter or Facebook. Enjoy your Valentine's Day, everyone.